Hello and welcome to Spoken English Academy. Today's topic is one that resonates with many of us. We've all experienced failure at some point, whether in school, at work, or in our personal lives. But here's the thing: failure doesn't define us. It's how we respond to it that matters. Today, we'll dive into the stories of well-known figures who faced incredible challenges and setbacks but never gave up. Through their stories, we'll learn about resilience, determination, and the power of persistence. So get comfortable, and let's begin our journey through the inspiring world of overcoming failure. Imagine a young boy who struggled in school. His teachers called him slow, and he found it difficult to fit into traditional education. This boy was Thomas Edison, who would go on to become one of the greatest inventors in history. Edison's journey was anything but smooth. As a child, he was removed from school because his teachers felt he wouldn't succeed. But his mother believed in him and decided to teach him at home, encouraging his curiosity and love for learning. Despite numerous setbacks, Edison invented the phonograph, the motion picture camera, and the electric light bulb. One of the most famous moments in Edison's life was his attempt to invent a practical, long-lasting light bulb. It took him thousands of experiments before he finally succeeded. When asked about his repeated failures, Edison said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." This mindset of persistence and learning from failure is what made Edison so successful. Now, let's move on to a story about a man who faced rejection after rejection in his career. His name was Walt Disney. Early in his life, Walt Disney worked as a newspaper editor, but he was fired because his boss said he lacked creativity. Imagine that. The man who created Mickey Mouse, who built Disneyland, and whose imagination brought joy to millions, was told he lacked creativity. Later, Disney faced financial difficulties, even filing for bankruptcy when one of his early businesses failed. But Disney didn't give up. He continued to work on his dreams, and eventually he created the first full-length animated movie, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, which was a massive success. Disney's story teaches us that sometimes the road to success is paved with setbacks, but each failure brings us closer to our dreams. Our next story is about a young man with big dreams but humble beginnings. He grew up in poverty and faced numerous hardships in his early life. His name was Steve Jobs. Jobs was adopted at birth, dropped out of college because his parents couldn't afford tuition, and later was even fired from the company he had founded, Apple. Imagine building something from the ground up, only to be told you're no longer needed. It was one of the lowest points in his life, but Jobs didn't let it stop him. He started another company next and eventually returned to Apple, where he transformed it into one of the most successful companies in the world. Steve Jobs taught us that failure can be a stepping stone to something greater, and that we shouldn't let setbacks define us. Let's talk about a woman who faced rejection and hardship but still achieved her dreams. Her name is J.K. Rowling, the author of the Harry Potter series. Before she became a best-selling author, Rowling was a single mother living in poverty. She wrote the first Harry Potter book while raising her child and struggling to make ends meet. When she finished her manuscript, she sent it to numerous publishers, only to be rejected again and again. In total, Rowling faced 12 rejections before a small publisher finally agreed to print her book. Today, Rowling's books have been translated into dozens of languages, and her story has inspired millions of readers around the world. Rowling's journey reminds us that even when the odds are against us, persistence can lead to incredible success. The next story involves a young athlete who faced a crushing defeat early in his career. His name is Michael Jordan, one of the greatest basketball players of all time. When Jordan was in high school, he tried out for the varsity basketball team but was cut because the coaches thought he wasn't good enough. Imagine the disappointment he must have felt. But instead of giving up, Jordan used this setback as motivation to work harder. He practiced every day, improving his skills and determination. Later, Jordan became a 6-time NBA champion and an international icon. His story teaches us that failure can be a powerful motivator and that success is often built on resilience. Thank you for joining me today as we explored these remarkable stories of persistence in the face of failure. Whether it's Thomas Edison, Walt Disney, Steve Jobs, J.K. Rowling, or Michael Jordan, each of these individuals faced significant setbacks, but they chose to keep going. Their lives remind us that failure isn't the end, it's simply a part of the journey. The next time you face a challenge, remember these stories and know that with persistence and hard work you can overcome anything. If you found today's lesson inspiring, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this podcast with others. Here at Spoken English Academy, we're committed to helping you learn English in a way that's motivating and enjoyable. Keep practicing, stay positive, and remember that each challenge brings you closer to success. I look forward to sharing more stories and lessons with you in our next episode. Until then, take care, keep learning, and don't give up.